about IDEs, we skipped one of them, which was VS Code. So I'm going to start with that one first before jumping into machine learning and deep learning. Where is it? Here. Yeah. So I'll start with this one first. The reason being, this is my favorite. I use VS Code for everything. And I use VS Code to SSH into all these resources, though even on those who say you cannot do it, I do that. You'll see how. So we are using VS Code. I'm going to show all my examples through VS Code, but go ahead, use Jupyter if you want to use Jupyter. Or do any, if you want to use Spider, whatever, just start any of these IDEs, because we will be running some Python codes in the end. So you need to run it from somewhere, or you can just run through Vim if you are pro. I do that sometimes. Okay, so VS Code. Let's pull out my VS Code here. This is it. So I've already logged into Rakam right now, but let me go out a little bit, backtrack. Let's see. If I start a new window, this is what you get with VS Code, nothing, blank. First thing you would have to do is, of course, download the VS Code. If you already have, you are in my team. Go to extensions, and we are going to download an extension which will help us tunnel to all these HPCs. So this is called remote tunnels. This is the extension you would need. You can install your extension. I've already done it. I'm not disabling it because then I'll lose all my SSHs, the config files. So you need this extension to log into all those HPCs. Once you have installed this, it's very quick, by the way. Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, keep reminding me if I'm not zooming in enough. I don't know how to zoom in into this application. It's not zoomable unless it's oh, yeah, I can do this. Oh, cool. I hope this is good enough now. Just say yes or no. So this is the name, remote tunnels. And this is also mentioned, by the way, in the VS Code section here. So on your own computer through SSH tunneling, this is the long list of steps, and this is all images. So you can see step by step how to do it. This is for Rakam. But this is the initial setup, so it's same for everything. Okay, I'm gonna anyway walk through it right now. Okay, VS Code again. Did it go small? Oh no, it was this one. Yeah. So once you install this, this will appear here, Remote Explorer. You'll click this. In the beginning, you'll see something like this. No lists, nothing under SSH. So you'll have to click New Remote and enter your SSH credentials to one of those, any of these HPCs. So for example, if I want to join to Rakam, SSH into Rakam, mine is this, and I'll hit enter. At this point, it will start an SSH session, but I already have one. Let's see what session I don't have. Okay, I think I can log into, I would need the exact SSH hostname. I think I don't have tetralit. Do I? Yeah. Okay. So here we go. SSH. Then I will enter this. Okay. It asks where to save the config. So it's my default config file, which is on my own computer. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. And that's how it's added. It's added. So you'll see tetralit appear here. And I've already used tetralit before, so it automatically showed me the project folder, but it won't show it for you. You will just see this line. In that case, you'll have to click on connect in current window. Then you'll have to enter the password. I'm not doing that. But after you do that, you will end up with something like what I already have here on Rakam, for example. Let me zoom in again. So you'll see something like this, which will be like, okay, you won't have any folder here, but you'll be logged in. For that now, to go to your folder, you'll of course have to open the folder. So you can find a folder here, whichever NSC, if you're an NSC or if you're on the HPC. So project, NAISS 2024 in this case, 22.1042. And this is where it is. I'll click this one and I'll click OK. And then it will show me all these folders, my project folders. This is the project folder for everyone. And now I'm into, I've SSH'd into Rakam. I'll start a new terminal. Let me close this. And this is a new terminal. So now I can edit my whatever code it is, Python, Julia, some other, anything you can edit here. Of course, you can have more extensions which can do linting and other stuff. So you know your code is well formatted and everything. And then you can run your batch scripts here on the terminal, just like a normal terminal, right? So in this case, I already have stuff. This is my folder. This is my things. These are my files. Let me also show you while we are at it that I can also from Rakam go to Snowy. And why stop there? Let me just start a Jupyter on my VS Code actually, because you see I have a IPy notebook. I love to code in IPy notebook for my proof of concept and then transfer it into a big chunk of Py code. So let's say you are already in, first of all, you would need an interactive session. I already have one, so I'm going to start that. I am on Snowy right now. You can see S185, which is my Snowy node. Now I need Jupyter. And for this, of course, I'll go back to my documentation and documentation for where is Jupyter. Okay, so maybe Jupyter is not mentioned here, but you have already read about Jupyter yesterday. It's in Python ML packages for me. It might be in something else for you. I'm going to start mine. Yeah, so S185, it's not accessible to you. Perhaps it's my interactive node. I already started it long ago so that I could show you. But I'm just showing you. You don't have to have a GPU node for this or Snowy node. I'm just showing it. Okay. What do I have already? I don't have anything right now. So I'm going to module load Python ML packages. I'm just going to do Python ML packages and hopefully it will give me GPU Python ML packages because I'm Snowy by default. I have Jupyter now. Let me start Jupyter Notebook without browser. There you go. Couple of seconds here and there. And it has started a Jupyter server now. Now, wherever your Python environment is on your whatever resource you're using, if that Python environment has Jupyter in it, VS Code will find it and run it. You see that this is running on S185 again, which is on Snowy. And I don't have a login node to Snowy, but I can still access Snowy because it is running Jupyter server. And Snowy is being port forwarded to Rakam. and on Rakam, I'm already there. From Rakam, my VS Code will automatically again port forward to my local, and I can start a Jupyter kernel right here. If I select kernel, existing Jupyter server, I paste this link. I'm just pasting the whole link, but it will just catch the, oops, I messed up. Paste. Yep, it will just cast the host name here. Enter. It found a PyPy kernel running there. I click that and it has connected. Just to show you, it is connected. I'm gonna run my, it has NumPy, pandas. Hopefully it should run. Connecting to kernel, it's running, and it's running. So now I am running my code from my local, managing on my files from my local VS Code, but running my code on a GPU node on Snowy. You can do this with any other HPC. I tried it in all of them. So it works. I already have connected everything. Snowy was special because it's not directly reachable, right? It's through Rakam. Anyway, so I have connected to Snowy, and this is how you can see that I can run my Jupyter notebooks, which makes me happy to run from my local, and I can manage everything from one application. I will briefly go back to my IDEs. Quickly talk about one last thing, which is VS Code is good, but also bad in some cases, which is managing extensions. That means it is notorious of downloading so many things with its extensions. Currently, I don't have any other extension. I can download more extensions if I want to. Like, for example, I want GitHub Copilot. This is already there. But if I want something else, I can. This is also but these are all there already. But I can find new extensions here, for example, this one. And I can install it on my, let's say, Rakam. Everything will get installed in your home directory. That's the issue, whichever HPC you are in. And these home directories are small in size and volume. In volume as well as in number of files. And the problem comes with number of files because extensions have lots and lots of files. They make like very lot of metadata. So your home folder will quickly finish. The quota will quickly finish. For that reasons, and for just saving spaces, you should manage your extensions. And I've given a detailed explanation how to do that. So you can manage your extensions and install your extensions into your project folder itself instead of installing it on your home directory. And then I've also mentioned about how to start a kernel, which I already demonstrated right now. So this is what I was doing. Right, and I'm in packages and everything. So this was about VS Code. I'm not going to spend too much time on VS Code. I thought it's important because I hope everyone or a lot of people do use VS Code here, at least for their local stuff. Okay, let's begin.